everybody, and welcome back to the 1313 podcast, the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe. I'm Jacob.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Delilah.
I'm Jen.
Welcome back to all you Regs and to all you Shinies. Welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast. Please, before we begin, make sure if you haven't already, you're subscribed, you leave a like, you leave a nice comment saying hello and how your week was. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to us on all of our social media, that being Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and follow us on Patreon and Discord, link down below.
And WhatsApp and Kick and everything.
No. Fellas, we have some guests with us today.
We do have some guests with us today. So we decided that we wanted to address an issue with fandoms in general. And this issue is that...
Y'all get no play.
You have none. And so the point of this episode is to show you that, yes, in fact, you can like sci-fi and you can like nerdy stuff, and you can also have the ability to have a basic conversation with a female. So, everyone, we are introducing on the show for the first time. Actually, Delilah might have had like an impromptu, or maybe
it's like a phone call.
Maybe a long time ago. No, a long time ago, she was sitting in that chair.
Oh yeah, we had our live studio audience.
And
I
then
was throwing goldfish.
Yeah.
And then Jen was the cameraman for our famous Christmas cookie vlog.
Yeah, so both of them have kind of been on the channel before, but you just didn't see it.
So go ahead, guys, introduce yourselves.
I'm Delilah.
You got anything else to say?
No?
I'm Jen, and I'm watching Star Wars for the first time.
Whoa!
All the way through with
Yes.
Tom.
So for Jen's Star Wars experience, you have seen how many of the movies?
I've seen all 9 main movies.
Okay. So that was like her prerequisite. So knowing that, I was kind of like, okay, let's go through everything in timeline order rather than doing like, oh, we're gonna watch 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? So we watched all but 2 of the Ahsoka episodes from Tales of the Jedi.
Okay.
So we saw the baby Ahsoka one. And then we saw the Count Dooku episodes from Tales. We watched Phantom Menace. Then we watched Attack of the Clones. And then we watched... we're in the middle of Clone Wars right now. We just finished the Season 3 finale, which was the episodes with Ahsoka getting captured by the Trandoshans. And then she meets Chewbacca. And they defeat the Trandoshans. And Jen is getting very invested in the Clone Wars now. So that's exciting for me. And yeah, we're about to probably start season 4 today or tomorrow. But
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Delilah and I kind of met because of watching Star Wars. We were in the same friend group, and then over COVID, she was like, what movie should I watch? And I said, you should watch Star Wars. And then we started watching them together. But this was like right around when Episode 9 came out, so the only expanded stuff was Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, and like The Mandalorian. So we watched basically all the movies, and then we went back and then we watched the entirety of Clone Wars, and then the entirety of Rebels, and then Mando. And since then, we've just been kind of watching everything as it comes out. So she's all caught up with everything, but neither of us have watched Resistance because we don't feel like wasting our time.
I have watched Resistance.
And
we will not watch Resistance.
That is like that's like your achievement medal of biggest losers. I watched Resistance.
It was like a course of like it was when I was still living at school. Like it was like the last 2 weeks of the fall semester, and I really like for once in my life I was ahead on all of my assignments before finals week. And I just went over the period of like 2 weeks. I watched all 3 seasons of Resistance. Were there 2 seasons or 3?
I don't know.
I don't even know. But
I think there's only 2.
The show is made for 8-year-olds.
Okay.
But there would be so many moments when I'm watching that show where I would just be like, and I've said this on the show before, I like grip the bottom of the chair and I'm just like actually viscerally angry at the characters. Because it's like that classic like, oh guys, we have to be sneaky. Oh, the silly main character tripped and fell over the slippery floor the 70th time.
You mean the entirety of the plot of Avatar in the Way of Water? Golly gosh darn. I hate that movie. Anyway, I think we should go through our lightning round of questions.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Before we begin, so...
Get you warmed up. Trivia.
What?
Not trivia. Delilah.
Every guest we have on the show.
Every guest. We do our lightning round, so we have to know. Favorite Star Wars movie?
Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Favorite Star Wars TV show.
Clone Wars.
Okay.
Obviously.
Okay. Favorite Star Wars character.
Ahsoka Tano.
Nice.
Jen, favorite Star Wars movie?
I think I would say Attack of the Clones too right now.
Because you've been going through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about favorite Star Wars show?
Well, Clone Wars because that's what we're watching.
Yeah.
And then favorite Star Wars character.
See, that's tough because I've been meeting a lot of new characters. Well, what's the one Jedi guy's name that calls Ahsoka?
Oh, Plo Koon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
him.
Oh,
Little Ahsoka.
Little Ahsoka, yes.
respectfully.
Plo Koon's a G.
Has she
But-
seen episode 3 yet? The movie.
Well, here's the thing.
I have.
She has seen it, but she doesn't remember
I watched it once when I
anything
was
that happens
13.
except for Anakin turns to Darth Vader. That's obviously the big thing.
Mm.
But in that well, you've talked to me about it before
What?
about watching Clone Wars, knowing that Anakin
Yeah.
will turn to the dark side. Actually, that was cool when we watched the Mortis arc.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few days ago, we watched the Mortis arc with the father, the son, and the daughter.
That might have been a little trippy seeing that.
It was very trippy. And I was like trying to catch all the different clips that they show when he's learning his future.
Mm-hmm.
See if I could catch all the callbacks.
Well, so like for example, like to give you a reference as to how little like Jen remembers about Jacob is not farting. Jacob is
Is my chair squeaky?
There are 3 options as to what Jacob will do on the show, and it's eat, poop, and fart. So that's
I've only done 2 of them. You can decide which ones it is.
So but with like Jen's like frame of reference to give you an idea, I have a Commander Cody like mini bust from Gentle Giant.
Yeah, the one that
You know,
you
light
dropped
truck
and then I fell off.
on the show. And then well, that mini bust has a description on the back from Revenge of the Sith. And I didn't explain anything past just, oh yeah, and it's Commander Cody and he's in Revenge of the Sith. That's all Jen remembers.
I don't
Okay?
Cool.
remember.
Yeah. So that gives you...
You're gonna
I
like
watched
that.
it
I hope you
once
get-
when I was 13 so that I could watch Hayden Christensen.
I hope you get really, really attached to all the characters in the Clone Wars.
Well, she already is. Don't worry.
Thanks. I already know.
Well, she just saw Echo die.
Yeah,
the
that was
Citadel
sad.
That's the one arc I can never remember. Like, I know it happens, and I've watched
Dude.
it, like, so many times, I just can't remember it ever
Watching season 3 of the Clone Wars makes me realize, like, just how, like, aggressively the Clone Wars, like, grew up with the audience. Because if you look at those episodes and how brutal those deaths are for those clone troopers versus like in season 1 and season 2 where it's goofy odd Jar Jar episodes left and right and like it just
happening. Delilah's favorite.
No, I said Ahsoka.
Delilah.
Jar Jar second.
do you like
We have a Jar Jar stand here today.
Jar Jar Stan. Yikes.
Sorry, guys.
Unpopular take. So how is it, I guess my question to you would be, how has it been experiencing Star Wars, like all these things that you didn't know even existed?
Well, the first time I watched any of the movies, I just watched it for like the basic of plots. And I watched it because my brothers watched it. And I didn't catch on to any of the politics parts of it. And now that I'm an adult, obviously I can follow along a little better than my 10-year-old brain. So that's really interesting, all the politics in the Senate and that parts of it,
Nice.
especially.
Yeah. My favorite part, obviously, is reminiscing about, like, because there's some of these episodes I haven't watched in years and years and years. And so, like, rewatching some of these episodes and remembering little tiny bits and, like, having those, like, deja vu moments when I was sitting in the living room watching it on Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool for me.
I always remember one time I went to this elementary school and like as you do, and we got there like super early one day, and instead of just us standing outside in the cold in the winter, the teachers let us in early, and they just kind of set us down like one of the common areas and just threw the TV on, and they were doing the Clone Wars reruns at like 5 or 6 in the morning. I was like, so I remember sitting on those ugly blue carpets with all like, it has like the caterpillar that goes like this all the way back, and it's like red and green with a black background. It's
The
super
carpet full of piss.
Probably it was in like a first grade, second grade common area. So
Think about how many boogers are just mashed into those little carpets, man. That's what I always think.
They're
about
all
them.
Toms.
Damn.
It's all boog, no nose, all boog. But I remember it specifically was the Bombad Jedi arc of Jar Jar with the slugs underneath the.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember it being that, specifically that.
That's awesome.
That was also when Thundercats was running, so still when that was a thing, like the anime version of Thundercats that they canceled after one season on a cliffhanger. Screw you guys.
It's also raining profusely right now, so if this episode cuts out, it's because the power went out.
Well, we got battery, so
That's
the lights
true.
will just go out and look all dark and spooky.
Dark and ominous. So there's a couple things I wanted to touch on this episode. Just kind of not necessarily Star Wars news, because again, we are in that general Star Wars drought right now. We're like,
Other than the fact that, I don't know if, I think I mentioned it last week, Andor's filling in Italy right now for Naboo stuff, so that's kind of cool.
yeah, and we are less than 50 days away from Ahsoka premiering, so that's also very exciting. But this thing I want to talk about, and it's kind of more of a general discussion, because all of us have seen a lot of movies and consumed a lot of media. So there's the conversation that's brewing up, and I watched a video from our friend Palpa Memes on YouTube from a couple days ago where he kind of touched on this topic too. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is out in theaters right now.
You should go see it if you haven't already.
And who see it? Me? Go see a movie? No. And go to the theater and actually see a movie that's not Across the Spider-Verse? Absolutely not.
He's incapable.
So the thing is with this movie is that it's not performing as well as it was projected to perform, but that's also indicative of Disney's last 11 major hits that they put out between Pixar and Marvel and Star Wars and everything else. So I guess my talking point on this issue, I think it's less of like a oh, Disney's not making what people want to see, and I think it's more of like, because of COVID, movie theaters are not popular, and because of streaming services, movie theaters are like dying because of that.
I honestly don't get it. I don't understand. I prefer, if I'm going to see a movie for the first time, I prefer it to be in a theater with a big screen and a large sound system, so you can feel like the depth of the sound. You can see it in the true aspect ratio that the film was produced in, with super expensive projectors, so you can get like the colors that are on point, so you don't get like how sometimes TVs like change up how everything looks. I'd prefer that. So I don't understand why people don't go to the movies. Why?
Jen, your thoughts?
I don't go to the movies since
I do go to
Doctor
the movies.
Strange and the really
I
awesome
am gonna go
movie.
to the movies for the Barbie movie in theaters.
Barbie movie.
But
With Harley
I
Quinn.
no, I've gone to in the past
in
2
Cannes.
years especially. I've gone to a lot of movies in the theaters, but there hasn't been movies that I want to go see besides Spider-Man.
That was a good movie though.
Like, I didn't want to see any of the Marvel movies in theaters after Doctor Strange because I was like, boo. And then
You have to explain to me why you didn't like that movie. You have to. I don't get it.
I thought it was good too.
I thought it was okay.
it was cute. It was like, if I didn't love WandaVision, I would have liked it a lot more. But it disregarded a lot of WandaVision. And then also, like, Doctor Strange had no character development throughout the entire thing. Let's talk about it.
He just was a zombie.
He was just like himself the entire time and didn't like grow as a person. Wanda did, even though she already did in WandaVision.
Do you think it's because
But it's a Doctor Strange movie.
They were a little too focused on America Chavez?
Well, I think that
They
was the whole
weren't
point.
even I don't think they were focused on her enough. I think their focus was all on Wanda when she already had her whole arc in WandaVision, and then Doctor Strange in America didn't have as much character development as you would expect from a Doctor Strange movie.
And now she's dead, or so we think.
Nah.
She's not.
I liked it a lot just because Sam Raimi directed my favorite horror movie, The Evil Dead, and this entire movie is just basically The Evil Dead but made into a Marvel movie, and because I like
Well,
horror
that's why
stuff.
I didn't like it.
Do you not like The Evil Dead?
I like Evil Dead, but it was just the same movie.
Not
That's
really.
well, not the plot, but you know what I mean. Like it was just like, and here's another Sam Raimi like gimmicky thing, call back to Evil Dead, and I'm like, okay.
Every time it happened, I was like, ha. I
Like it's
it.
like cute, but then there was so much build up for this movie that it's like, okay, so it's just like a cutesy Sam Raimi movie that's supposed to make Sam Raimi fans happy, but like, I like Sam Raimi, I like the original Spider-Man movies, you know, and I like Evil Dead, but it was just too gimmicky for the build-up that they had for this movie. I have a lot of thoughts about this movie.
I see your point of view, but I still disagree.
Right. Well, so yeah, I haven't seen any of the new any new Marvel movies after
Did
Doctor
you see
Strange.
Spider-Verse?
I haven't seen it yet
That's
It's really
because
It's really good.
I've seen
haven't.
it twice now. I'm trying to be built like 2099, like a Dorito. Just-
I saw a TikTok where there's a guy like, yeah, and here's how you can get 2099's physique.
yeah.
And it was like, basically, it's impossible. But
Have you seen that guy? He also did How to Get Kingpin's physique with body like this, head like this.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, but
Yeah, Star Wars.
what's your thoughts and opinions on going to the movies and things like that?
I enjoy it. I mean,
You still going?
yes. I go to
Yeah.
every movie with you.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
I don't know, man. I think it's a reflection of like how everything between like if you look at like their streaming services instead of, you know, watching TV or going to the theater. People just wait so that they can watch it on their home TV. There's video games like Fortnite where you have like you don't go get toys from your favorite thing, you buy skins for your character and change how they look, and you have a collection of those, and it's all digital. None of it's like real or tangible. And I feel like it's a reflection of over the last few years, everybody has gotten so cozy in their little houses that they like. I mean, people work from home now. It's like a very popular thing. You know, and people see it as a chore to go anywhere nowadays. I think, as opposed to just like
We're turning into Ready Player One.
yeah, we are, dude. It's I don't know. I think it's has less to do because I see the argument a lot. It's like, oh well, Kathleen Kennedy this and Disney that. But I also want to say I do think that the people that are in charge of the decisions when movies are made are out of touch. That's my hot take.
Lots of producers,
I
I
agree.
think, are.
Yeah.
Lots of them have like this idea of, especially if there's like any sort of political like thing to do with any movie, I feel like they just want to push that hot button so they can like get brownie points for like I don't even know, because it sounds like everybody gets disappointed when they try to put anything into movies. I've never heard anybody. Okay, for instance, the new Little Mermaid movie, if you haven't seen it already, it was a good movie. It was just, it's the same thing that they already did. They recap. You know the controversy. Little Mermaid's black. But it's not a secret. And it wasn't a bad movie by a long shot.
And it's also the idea that it's like taboo to talk about it or like, call it out.
Yeah, but it's, I completely forget my point, but it's like people are just being angry about this because it's the Little Mermaid and she's black. And it's like, she had a great voice. The movie for what it was fine. It's just, I didn't dig it as much just because I've seen The Little Mermaid before and it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's literally the same thing.
I'll tell you why I won't watch the new Little Mermaid movie.
Because you're racist.
Because of what they did to my boy Sebastian, bro. That is my singular reason why I refuse to watch that movie. They did my boy Sebastian so goddamn dirty. I saw Flounder and I was like, I guess I could get over that. And then I saw Sebastian and I was like, absolutely not. Embargo on this movie. I can't do it, bro.
I think it was funny that the guy that plays The Little Mermaid's dad, Mr. Neptune, looks. I think it's just because of the beard. He looks a lot like Nicolas Cage. I can't not see him as Nicolas Cage, and I think it's hilarious. But no, is it a bad movie? No, it's not. But the numbers on that movie were very, very, very poor. It didn't perform well whatsoever. Same with Quantumania didn't do well. Strange World didn't do well. Lightyear didn't. This all started with Lightyear. Lightyear did terrible. Quantumania, I think Doctor Strange did really bad. I think after the numbers were crunched, Disney has lost $900 million over the past 11 films.
It's between 8 and 900 million.
It's almost a bill. It's almost a bill.
Well, the thing is too is I think with Ant-Man, honestly, that kind of gets a pass because I feel like Ant-Man was always like a mid-ranged like excitement movie. Like I don't remember anyone ever for any of his 3 films being like, oh man, Ant-Man, that's my favorite superhero. I really want to see Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm. I think that they're just like, especially the last one, it's so dumb, it's hilarious, and it's just
dumb.
It's just I think it just falls into like it's a Paul Rudd movie rather than a. It's like if you watch Anchorman. Anchorman is just so stupid. I couldn't get through it, so I was like,
Anchorman's freaking hilarious.
But I think that's how Quantumania is. It's just like really, really, really dumb, but kind of funny to watch.
Well, that's the thing is like honestly though, I feel like for some reason it's the most popular choice for leadership roles in the entertainment industry is the number cruncher and not the creative or the artist or the person that is willing to take any kind of creative liberty or risk when it comes to a film. The only films that come out and are projected to be these monumental blockbusters are the ones where it's we say it all the time on this podcast, the bean counters, the people who are predetermining what is the safest option. And we see it time and time again that the safe option with all these movies nowadays is not doing well. It's just not. Like if you want to talk about a movie that's doing really well, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is doing well. Without giving out any spoilers on that movie, it's because that movie is so different. I walked into the theater expecting something, and I walked out of the theater completely satisfied because it was nothing like what I expected it to be. And between the beginning to the end, I never felt like I was not satisfied watching that film, and that's because that film took risks, and that film also had an original idea, and the story group on that film were creatives. And they were people who actually give a crap, almost a bad word, they give a crap about what they're writing. You know, that's what gets me, and I'm really anxious to see these next 3 Star Wars films. Do you know anything about, have I told you about?
No.
Okay, so recap specifically for, do you know?
Yeah, she knows.
The 3 movies? 3 Star Wars. Okay.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie.
So, recap for everybody. You don't listen to me?
Okay, that's not true.
Do you even know my name anymore?
What's my favorite color?
Green.
No! Yippee, I like it green.
So, the 3 Star Wars movies that are coming out. So, James Mangold, who directed Logan, if you've seen Logan, and he also directed the new Indiana Jones movie that's out right now. He is projected to come out with a Dawn of the Jedi movie. It takes place...
Oh, you did tell me about
25,000 years before any of the episodes 1 through 9.
Okay.
And it's about like discovering the Force and the origin of the Jedi and probably the Sith. And then there is another movie which her name escapes me. The director, this is like, to my knowledge, this is her first movie. She was a producer on multiple films before, but this will be her first film. She is directing a movie about Rey Skywalker rebuilding the Jedi Order 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So again, I'm really excited for both of those and a little less anxious because they're exploring new parts of the timeline that have never been touched. And then there is Dave Filoni is directing a movie which is going to be like an Avengers style movie that has to do with the Mandoverse. So you're going to get like the Mandalorian, Grogu, Ahsoka, Boba Fett, all the characters from the new live action shows all coming together into the same film. So, I mean, my anxiety with those films comes from Disney's, or I don't know if it's Lucasfilm or if it's Disney, that there have been so many projects that have either been canceled or shelved, or, you know, directors get fired, and the constant reason for directors getting fired, whether it was Solo or what are some of the Duel of the Fates, which was supposed to be The Rise of Skywalker. There are so many films that the directors get fired for creative differences. That's what they say. They never elaborate. None of the directors have ever elaborated on it. There's just always this, and again, that's my thought, that it's the number crunchers that are saying, oh, that's a little too risky. We're not going to let you do that. So
I think that's why I think you're gonna absolutely love this show. If when you get to it, it's Andor. Andor is fantastic, and I think it's because they're like, oh, this is just like a character that nobody really cares about, but we're doing a show about him because like the director of Rogue One wanted to do this. So they just let the creatives do what they wanted. Producers didn't really touch it. They didn't tell them what to do. They just said, all right, go have fun, make your thing. And it is the highest rated Star Wars project to come out since like Mando season 1. It is super, super good. It has some of the best dialogue, some of the best storytelling that we've gotten in Star Wars in a really long time. So it's, I hope that every single time we say this, I hope that they learn from things like that, where they're like, whoa, if we let the creatives take the helm and we don't push them around and tell them to insert this, this, and this, then they come out really good. But what do I know?
I'm just a guy in the chair.
Yeah, I'm the squeaky one.
So
It's not squeaking anymore. Oh, wait. There we go.
To that same point, though, when it comes to the newer projects, I feel like a lot of them are stifled also by, like, there's all the controversy with Pedro Pascal right now. Have you seen any of that?
Pedro's being a big meanie because he's upset that his face isn't seen more in The Mandalorian. And he basically is going on shows and being like, Mando season 3 is basically just a voiceover gig, and calling it a gig. He's being really selfish, in my opinion, which is like, I love his performance. I like how he acts. I think he's a great actor.
He's also zaddy.
Yeah, it's the fact that people would kill to be in his position.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many starving actors and like people that like haven't gotten to touch a single thing, that are like people like me that are in love with Star Wars and would give anything just to be able to have like an eyelash in the door to make something with them. And he's like one of the biggest characters, and he's upset because they don't see your face. It's like, that's, to me, it's a little churlish and immature.
Is he saying it like seriously?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah, he's being so like, and it's he keeps comparing his role in The Last of Us to his role in The Mandalorian. And what I don't get is, like, I maybe could understand his argument a little bit more if this was like, if The Mandalorian was his first gig and that was the only thing he's ever been in as an actor. But he was in Game of Thrones. He's like a main character in The Last of Us. Like, he has had so many other major roles in such groundbreaking series and movies. And like this particular one, he's complaining about, and
it's just annoying. And now there's things of Jon Favreau coming out saying, because it seemed like at the end of Mando season 3 that he's kind of getting phased out of the story, and then Jon Favreau went on to say that he wasn't going to be the Aragorn of the series, that it was never all about him. But I feel like that's a new development, so I think Din Djarin's kind of getting fizzled out.
I did read that interview. Jon Favreau basically said, when he like elaborated on that statement, he said that when he and Dave write the script for The Mandalorian, the story just kind of takes its own turns, and they'll be writing something and go, oh, this would actually be really cool if we like elaborate on this plot point, which is what Mando season 3 was. It wasn't originally planned to be a part of the story, which that makes total sense to me now as a viewer who's seen all 3 seasons, because I'm like, oh, because we've talked about it. We said Mando season 3 is a completely different vibe.
Completely different tone, completely different setup. It's not a space cowboy western samurai. It's a religious epic.
Yeah. And so that makes more sense now, knowing that the writers intended that. They were like, oh, this is a really cool idea here. After they wrote Mando season 2, let's explore that, and that's why the show is so different. And I think that Pedro got a little salty about that.
Which I don't get.
Yeah, whatever.
So Disney, if you're looking for a new Mando, I know an attractive ginger that would love to take the spot. Cameron Monaghan, no.
Conan is the Mandalorian. Also, shout out to our newest patron, Brian Shenley. He's a good friend of Hybrid Toy Reviews, and I just want to I'm gonna explain that real quick. So, Hybrid, if you're watching this episode, you got pranked, but not really because my comment got deleted. Hybrid Toy Reviews recently went to Nickel City Con in Buffalo, and he hated it.
He had a bad time.
He made a video basically as like a smear post today, just like saying, as a consumer, like what he didn't like about it and how much he hated it. And he was talking for a while about the security guard that was really rude to him. So I just made up this name, Brian Shenley, and I just posted a hate comment on his video. And I was like, I'm going to kick your ass if you come back to this con next year. I'm going to kick your pasty ass, blah, blah, blah. And I made it so that, like, the profile picture was, like, one of those cringe, like, a fist punching a punching bag. Like, one of those, like, stock images. And, like, I made sure I used the wrong your because I wanted to give him the opportunity to, like, make fun of it. But then the comment got deleted within 10 seconds. And I was like, damn, that YouTube algorithm is kind of good.
He said no being mean.
Yeah, so, oh well. So, Hybrid, if you see this, that's me telling you about my awesome funny prank that I put way too much time into. And now I'm sad that it didn't.
Didn't even come to fruition.
Yeah.
At all.
Boo. But, yeah, do you have any more thoughts on that whole debacle? I know this is like territory that you haven't really, I mean, you've seen, so Jenna's watched Mando season 1 and season 2, and I showed her the episodes of the Book of Boba Fett that Din Djarin is in. Mm-hmm. So she has seen up to where Cad Bane shows up. And by the time Ahsoka comes out, we'll have finished Clone Wars, so I'll just kind of give her a crash course on some of the other stuff that happens between Clone Wars and the Ahsoka show. And we'll be good to watch Ahsoka. But, do you have any more?
About Pedro Pascal?
Any of it?
Anything. Yeah. We talked about a bit of things.
Yeah. Like, what do you think about, like, movies coming out nowadays? Do you think they're playing it safe? Do you think that they're...
I think there's a lot of garbage that hides the good movies. And then,
such as?
Well, I mean, like all these, like all the Marvel movies.
I am a surgeon!
Why?
He said it. He said the good doctor. I just had to do it. Sorry.
All the Marvel movies, Avatar. That's the other thing is, like, I would have seen Avatar in theaters, but then all the reviews came out, and I was like, oh, like, doesn't seem worth my money. That's a lot of it, is, like, reviews come out of these big movies that people were anticipating, and then the reviews are, like, mid or bad.
Oh, damn. Well, that's another thing that we talk about all the time, is, like, the outrage culture. Do you think the outrage culture is kind of passively affecting movie performances in the theaters?
Probably.
Because I do feel like every, like, potential blockbuster that hits the theaters, within minutes of it coming out, and most of the time before it even comes out, these fake news channels just come out with these, like, ridiculous smear videos about, like, a director or a producer or an actor, and say that the movie's gonna flop and blah blah blah, and those videos for some reason get hundreds of thousands of views.
Did you guys see the latest outrage with Pete Davidson?
No.
So Mr. Pete Davidson was found at a pet store purchasing a dog. Not adopting a dog, but purchasing one, and everybody was getting on him for being like, don't shop, adopt. And then PETA wrote an article and talked to TMZ about how he's such a bad person for purchasing a dog rather than adopting, and yada yada yada. And then Pete Davidson called the person that wrote the article, and the voicemail is out of him being like, hey asshole, I'm allergic to all dogs except for one specific breed, and our family pet just died, so I'm trying to buy this dog for my mom. And we're all grieving about this 2-year-old puppy that died. So I was trying to get my mom a dog. So thanks. And now, like, PETA bashers are, like, using Pete Davidson on billboards now in Times Square about being like, PETA kills animals. So,
Pete Davidson,
it's gonna bring down PETA.
you're a good comedian, but you're still ugly. That's why. I have to put it out there.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Did you?
There are certain, like, people that I just don't see how they're so attractive. Another one, Zaddy himself. Pedro Pascal, I just don't find him attractive. I don't
Really?
see how people go gaga for him. And again,
Because
Adam
he's
Driver.
rugged and handsome.
Adam Driver's another one. I don't get the hype.
Because
Yeah,
he's
I don't get the hype on him either.
Y'all-
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Y'all
I don't get
meaty.
the hype in Star Wars, definitely.
Let's play Star Wars hot or not. So let's
Hayden Christensen,
hot.
Ewan McGregor,
Hot.
Watto,
Hot.
Who's that?
Hot
hot for sure. Hot. Mace Windu,
Hot.
Yoda,
Hot.
Zaddy, hot.
Hot.
Oh, Zaddy? No, not.
Who? Pedro
Pedro,
Pascal.
yeah.
Oh, hot. Well, you're
Poe Dameron,
Hot. Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac,
Oh.
Very
hot.
hot.
Very hot.
Very hot. He is the hottest person in Star Wars. That's my other hot take.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
he is. Yeah. Zero the hype.
Who am I thinking?
Hot.
Dave Filoni? Duh. Anyway. Anyhow, any wah.
But yeah, that's I don't know. Sorry about that. I just had to get it out there.
Apparently you did. You derailed the entire conversation with that.
So so back to Clone Wars. I kind of want to talk to Jen a
Back
little
to
bit
Star
about
Wars Clone Wars.
because it's been a lot of fun. It's always fun experiencing Star Wars with someone for the first time, and having them see their reactions, and like there will be things that you react to that I'm like, I don't expect you to react a certain way, and then there are points where like something happens and you react like exactly how I expect you to react to it. Most recently, Jen's newfound love is R2D2's battle droids from the Citadel episodes. Those blue battle droids.
I don't remember that arc at all.
I'll show you a picture of them.
I don't remember at all.
Well, because it's a sad arc. No one wants to watch it because everyone dies so brutally, bro.
I already liked the battle droids, but then they had battle droids on the good guy side, and I was like,
Oh, God.
and they were so cute. They were like calling R2 Commander, and
She likes battle droids too.
not like they're funny.
They have a lot
silly.
of funny moments.
Yeah, like they're funny.
They're
How
very
can you not
tasteful.
like
Do you have
them?
a favorite arc in the Clone Wars? Thank you, Siri.
Thank you, Siri.
So glad.
I think my favorite is probably the end of season 7.
Okay. Well, we can't talk
I
about
know we
it.
can't. Jen, you're gonna love it,
Okay.
but it's definitely the best.
I think the way I want your opinions on this, since you guys have seen the show. I think the way that I want to do it is we'll watch the rest of the Clone Wars up until the first episode of the last arc, and then we'll watch Revenge of the Sith, and then go back and watch the rest of that arc.
Or you can watch the
4-hour
4-hour cut.
The
of
4-hour
Revenge of the
cut where
Sith.
it's all put together.
That's what we're doing.
Actually, that might be a better idea because there's a fan-made 4-hour cut where it's
That's cool.
that last arc and Revenge of the Sith because it all happens at the same time.
Unless there's ads, I'll do that.
There's no ads. I have it on my Google Drive. I'll send it to you.
Done. This is the new version of burning CDs and DVDs for people.
I think I still have it. I'll have to find it.
I have a burned DVD of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from the 90s.
Oh, so you're a thief.
No.
Did
So
you guys ever have to burn a CD?
The only time I ever burned a CD was when I got the Cars soundtrack from Disney Pixar's Cars from the library.
So
And
you stole it.
And my dad burned it onto another DVD so I can listen to Rascal Flatts' Life is the Highway.
Life is a highway.
Yeah, that's what I said. I had that and I had Taylor Swift's Fearless. And those were the two CDs I had
It's a good one.
because I won it on the radio.
I just had deja vu, but that's because we just had this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Everybody at my place of work made fun of me for saying I had Fearless as a child. But it's a banger album.
It
So
is a banger album.
Absolutely.
So, Jen, just a couple more questions about Clone Wars for you.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character in Clone Wars aside from Plo Koon right now? Or do you need me to or do you want me to break it down? Like Jedi,
Do you need
Sith?
him to mansplain it?
Do you need me to mansplain it to you?
No.
No.
I just like just any of the characters.
Yeah, like who are some of your
Well,
standout characters?
I mean, obviously, I like Ahsoka. I also like. I like Padme. I like her episodes with like I was saying earlier, like the Senate episodes. I don't know.
I know you were really digging the Obi-Wan Satine
Oh
love
yeah,
story.
I love all the drama. Also the boy that Ahsoka was talking to in that
Lux
one.
Bonteri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know something's gonna go on there
What a rascal.
for sure.
A rapscallion, if you will.
I'm diving in on
Scallywag.
the love triangles and romance plot points.
Rush Clovis,
Mm.
Padme's ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Gotta love
That's
Rush
crazy.
Clovis.
I keep saying this, but I'm waiting patiently for the "that's my wife" moment with Anakin. And I know it's happening. I know it's coming.
I don't know
So
what you're talking about.
That
So,
doesn't happen.
I'm just waiting patiently because that's the best part in any romance book or movie. Don't touch my wife.
Well,
That's my sister-in-law.
yeah, man. I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But
Yeah,
I'm
that
I'm
doesn't
so
matter.
stoked that you're actually enjoying it and not like just aimlessly watching along, because that makes it a lot more fun for me watching it with you when you
Yeah.
actually enjoy the show.
I do.
Yeah, when anything happens and you know something's about to happen, you just stare at them like this to see.
Well,
their
Jen's the worst because she like predicts everything. Like she gets everything right. Like right as it's about to happen, she'll be like, "Oh my god, are they gonna die?" And I'll just be like, "You'll have to just see." And then she just goes like this to me. I'm like looking at the TV. I can feel her go. And I'll be like, I'll start to like crack. I'll start to smile, and she'll be like, "Oh my god, they're gonna die!"
Well, the last one we just watched when Chewbacca's revealed. Yeah, they made a Wookiee sound. I was like, "Oh my god, is it Chewbacca?" And then it started playing the A New
theme.
Hope theme, and I was like, I know that.
She's
And
like,
you
"Is
were
it
like,
Chewbacca?" I was like, "It's a Wookiee."
and I was like, "It's Chewbacca."
Delilah and I have been going through one of her favorite shows of all time called Once Upon a Time. It's like based off like fairy tale stuff, and I do the same thing where something will be about to happen. I'm like, this is about to happen, and then it does, and then 90% of the time I just laugh. So I'm like,
Yeah, it's really annoying.
yeah, I got it right.
Or like when 99 died, she's like, "Oh no, he's gonna die!" Like as soon as he started writing it, and I was like, "Nah, no, he's not."
Well,
What are you talking about?
they do some like
I'm a hero just like you.
cliche plot points, not like bad cliche plot points, but
What was the thing you said about the Ahsoka episodes we just watched? It was you said it was based on something else, not Lone Survivor.
The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, where they're trapped on the jungle
They're-
planet with the Trandoshans.
Oh yeah.
They're hunting people for sport.
Yeah, that was the other thing is Jen is kind of in disbelief that this was a show that we as 11 and 12-year-olds grew up with.
Yeah.
because of how much death happens
Well,
in
and it's
season
not
3.
just death. Like people get shot point blank,
Cut in half.
and like it shows some of it. Like the one, like they didn't show him get shot, but they showed him like crumble to the ground after he got shot in the face.
Yeah.
I was showing.
I was like, oh my god.
Because the new Indiana Jones movie came out, Delilah had to go through and watch all the Indiana Jones movie with me. And especially Temple of Doom, where they're like ripping out people's hearts and burning them alive and going, ah, and there's flames on their hands.
What's the chant they do?
I don't
My
remember.
dad and I used to chant it all the time when I was a kid, because I had this huge Indiana Jones phase for like 6 months. And it was right
Yours
when...
only lasted 6 months.
It was right when Crystal Skull came out.
Mm.
But also you have to remember Clone Wars was coming out at the same time, and that was my
Got
my
it.
major.
It was but no, I just turned to her. Yeah, I was like, I watched this as basically an infant, and this shaped my brain as what it is today. So if you ever have any questions about anything, you can look at Nazis getting shot point blank and blood running out of their mouths and people face melting and all the good stuff.
turning to dust, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
People getting run over by tanks and cars, and all you see is them going. Ah!
Have you ever seen the original RoboCop?
No.
That's another one. There's a dude at the end of the movie. There's a big chase scene, and this one guy gets like a giant canister of acid gets dumped on him, and his like skin is all falling off and decaying, and he's like looks like this ghoul, and he's running towards this guy in the getaway car, and the getaway car smashes into him, and he just explodes into a million pieces. It was pretty awesome. But that was another one where I was like, I think my dad showed me that, and I was like 12, and I was like, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I watched New Girl.
Oh my gosh, I love New Girl.
It's
I
there's no blood
I hate
and there's
it.
no death.
Yeah.
Tommy and I are in the same boat. That show-
will watch New Girl.
It's a good show.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
The best part of the show is when the credits roll.
Hey girl, what you doing?
It's not even the credits.
I hate that show.
It's just I don't know. It's just like it's kind of cringe
Mm-hmm.
to me, but I'll still watch it.
I still
because
find
you
it
like to
funny.
watch it, and
I
that's
still find it funny that the male guy with the beard is Peter B. Parker.
well, and that's like there's give and take in relationships, and that's my give is watching New.
My gift is watching once, but I actually
It's
enjoy it.
supposed to be cringe. Like she's supposed to be cringe.
She does a very good job of being cringe.
That's
Yeah.
like her
Unintentionally.
whole character. And that's why there's character growth in the show.
If I wanted to watch
Unlike
somebody be
in
cringe,
Doctor Strange.
I would watch Big Bang Theory, because then I could just watch all Best of Sheldon and just watch all that cringe stuff.
I'm just gonna say it, Uncle Ange. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna hate me for this. I don't think Big Bang Theory is a good show. I don't.
My dad's gonna not like
It's
you for that.
it's a very like it's not a bad show, but it's not a good show. You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, like I would rather watch Everybody Loves Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond is a great sitcom. That's a fantastic show to watch.
I'm not a sitcom guy, I don't think.
Or Friends. Friends is another great show. I'd watch Friends all day.
I'd watch Kickin' It from Disney XD.
How would
Ant
you
Farm.
watch Friends but not New Girl?
yeah, that's
It's
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
thing,
Yeah.
Just like modern.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Wrong-o.
sometimes
One has
No, I
90s
won't say
charm,
that.
one is cringe.
2000s charm.
2000.
yeah, it's just a
2010s.
different
Back when Cookie Monster snapbacks and Osiris high-top shoes were the fashion.
I had a dude wear one of those Cookie Monster snapbacks in my store, and I dispensed his glasses, and then he went, "Thanks, boss," and went to dap me up. So I did this with him. I just went like that, and he tried to slide for a dap up, and I just went, no. I was like, you can leave now.
Like a boss.
my favorite picture of Tommy from 2013 is him in a snapback hat. He has Bieber hair, and the t-shirt says, "Have you seen this fox?" And it says, "Last heard," going ring ding 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 ding. That's my favorite picture
Jacob knows
that
that picture.
We
exists.
just outed him for that one.
It's my favorite.
Well, I had another. I had all the cringe shirts, dude, because that was what was in style back then. That's how you picked up. That's how you picked up the ladies at Waldemere. Okay, just gotta let you know, dude. I'd be rocking. Get this, bro. All right, just wait. I was a solid 90 pounds soaking wet at the age of 14, and I would wear athletic shorts that were probably 3/4 of the way down my legs. I would rock the high-topped Adidas black and white shoes. You know which ones I'm talking about. With the bright blue Adidas socks to match. And then I had my t-shirts. I had one says, "I brought the awesome, what did you bring?" I had one that said, "Totes my goats," and it was a picture of a goat in a tote. And then I had the "What does the fox say" one. And I had a Minecraft one. It was Steve in all diamond armor. It was a long sleeve, and it said, "Like a boss."
This is a particular Jackson fit. I'm trying to
In particular. He's not even here to defend himself.
I had a t-shirt that just said, like, "I love my crazy friends." And I wore that with a Mickey Mouse skater snapback hat and a Aeropostale.
Oh, hell no.
hoodie.
Back when the Aeropostale zip-ups were the...
Slay.
Slay Jackson.
All right, Jackson.
There's a particular. He used to have this like this active fit shirt by like Spider, and it was blue. And then he would wear these like
Is it like the skin tight?
he would wear that, and then he would wear like these like athletic shorts. And just for like a thing, I would rather kill myself than wear basketball shorts. That material, the way they look, hate them. But he would wear these like all the time, and he would wear like these neon yellow like socks with these white, gray, and yellow like Under Armour shoes. And he would just rock that fit, and I would just be like, bro.
And you
stop.
know, the little middle school girlies were just losing their minds
Over that neon.
over 13-year-old Jackson.
Over that neon with his helmet hair.
Should we pull up pictures of Jacob in high school?
Oh, we can pull up pictures of me in high school when people thought I was trans.
No, we didn't say that.
Yes, we did.
We said that Jacob. I can't.
I have this
Go
picture.
ahead, say it.
No, I have this picture of. So we had to do this rehearsal for military ball, like for JROTC, and Jackson needed a date. So here's a great picture of Jackson and I rehearsed because he didn't have a girl with him. So it's like, I'll be your girl. That was quite
We
hilarious.
said that Jacob dressed like a woman. Okay, that was what we said.
Well, because I was super into his like Assassin's Creed and like kind of like long flowy clothing. So I basically had this like cardigan that was like a Jedi robe that I would just wear in public.
And the scarf.
With a scarf. Scarves were my thing. Let's pull it. Scarf pick. You know, I looked like I went to Barnes and Noble but didn't purchase books. I just read them and left. I looked like that type of guy. That type of gal. So I'm trying to find a particular. Yeah. Oh, here's a classic. Here's the classic darn tootin' where you going fit from approximately middle school.
Amish Jacob.
Amish. There was this.
Amish core.
There was literally.
Core.
There was literally this entire point in time in high school where I would do a voice that kind of sounded like this, and and the joke of it was Jebediah, and then everybody called me Jebby for short. So that was the thing.
That was Jacob's name in high school, was Jebby.
Yeah, everybody called me Jebby.
Now,
I graduated high school right in time before all this.
So
no, you were there. You just didn't know me really.
I guess if we're gonna close this out, let's hear what it's like for you guys on your end.
You're not free.
Knowing that we do.
You're not
Star
free.
Wars
I gotta pull up one fit of yours. There's Jackson and Tommy, notorious.
Classic.
A classic.
Wait, what
The
was the name you went by in high school?
Gucci Louie.
Gucci Louie.
Oh, don't worry. We just showed Jen's brother and her sister-in-law Gucci Louie the other day.
Here's a notorious appearance of Gucci Louie where he would wear his sunglasses upside down and he was a meme character and all the freshmen loved him.
They did. Now, so I guess from your guys' perspective, how is it like?
Do you still love us?
Yeah, pretty much. Like with the whole podcast and like the Star Wars and the antics.
On a scale to 1 to 10, how badly do you want the divorce?
Well, I have been here since the podcast started.
You have.
So
OG.
I have never really had a problem with it. I think it's really cool, and how much you guys have grown is just like kind of crazy. Because honestly, I didn't see this going anywhere.
You can't do this.
But it's grown.
You didn't see it going anywhere? Wow.
What?
But look
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But look where you are now.
She said, I didn't see it going anywhere at first.
Well, it was just like a little Star Wars podcast, and I was like,
wow. I'm offended. Deeply.
sorry.
That's a lot. Jen?
Well, when we on our first date, Tommy just said, "Oh, and I have a podcast," and I went, "Oh no," because I didn't know what it was about.
He said, "Oh no, another white guy
yeah,
talking
I was
on the
like,
internet."
But then he said it was about Star Wars, and then he started talking about Star Wars, and I realized that you were actually really passionate about it. I think that's the biggest, green flag, if you will.
Gas me up.
about the podcast is that it's something you're very passionate about, and it's a great outlet for that. And it's fun for us because I get to watch Star Wars with you and have that with you. But
if you ever have a question,
yeah, he
you already
knows.
know.
He knows the
we got
answer.
the encyclopedia.
No, I think it's really cool.
Heck yeah.
My brain can't handle calculus, but miscellaneous space people names, I got out of law.
The name of the hammerhead shark-looking guy from that episode. Yep, I know his name, and I know his entire backstory as well.
I had him on a Topps trading card. Anyway.
But, yeah, so, again, guys, this whole episode was, again, it's the Star Wars drought. I think we've done a really good job this time around of finding fun, different things to talk about week to week.
And now all we got to do is wait for because Jackson's gonna be back next week.
Jackson's
gonna be back. So we're gonna go see Indiana Jones with him. You should definitely come, and then we can do the Indiana Jones episode.
Sure. Me go see a movie. And also, we just wanted you guys to know, yes, indeed, you can talk to women and like Star Wars and like different sci-fi things. And again, the other part of that though is, let me just say real quick.
I'm scared.
You guys are looking for the wrong kind of women. If you're not able to get a relationship and like sci-fi and things like that. You're looking for the wrong kind of people, bro. You're looking for the boring people that the most exciting thing they do in a day is breathe. That's the difference. Everybody thinks, oh yeah, I really want a girl that golfs. That's boring. That's stupid. Golf is stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say that too. Golf is stupid. I don't understand it. Everybody's like, whoop! Hey, tell them to bring the yacht out. Let's go golfing. I'm like, not funny. Not cool. Boring.
What are you
Find someone with a
saying?
personality.
I like how the three of us are just like, what is this tangent?
I'm so confused.
We all are.
Find someone with a personality and that has actual interests. Stop looking for boring people.
Don't look for love in the bars.
If you're dating someone and they tell you that the things you like are stupid, then that's not the person for you. That was what I was trying to say. I don't know how.
Right,
I went
you
off on
really
that
went.
tangent.
And God bless
Started talking about
America.
golf.
And gentlemen. Anyways, let's go golfing.
Let's golf. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode.
Shrimp what?
Shut up.
You ever play rugby?
Call me asparagus.
Gatorade.
Life is Roblox.
We the best music.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. Tell them to bring the yacht out.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the 1313 podcast. Please, if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed. You leave a comment of what your favorite DJ Khaled quote is. And you leave a like. Make sure that you're in the Discord. Follow us on all our social media. And thank you for all those that support us on Patreon. Next month we'll be giving away something or another. You'll find out eventually. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Did you guys enjoy your torture?
Greetings. Subscribe to the 1313 podcast. And if you'd like some absolutely fire merchandise, make sure to check out the Teespring linked below. And please use your datapad to follow us on all social media that can be located on the HoloNet. Also, be sure to support us on Patreon, if you would be so inclined. May Warrior's fortune smile upon you.